Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Shawn Thinking Out Loud. I'm your host, Shawn Armstrong, coming to you from my secret hideout in beautiful Brazil. Today, we're diving deep into topics that have been swirling around the political landscape, specifically the debate surrounding welfare reform and the recent tax bill. If you've been following the news, you've likely heard conflicting reports about how this new bill will affect our economy, the deficit, and, of course, those who rely on government assistance. So grab your headphones and let's unpack this together. To set the stage, let's talk about what's at stake. The current administration claims that this new tax bill will actually shrink the deficit by a whopping $1.5 trillion. But why do we hear so many differing numbers? It's a classic case of who do you trust? Economic models are often used to project outcomes, and there's been a lot of criticism about their reliability. Just look back to previous predictions. Many thought we'd see 3% growth last time around, and now we're faced with estimates suggesting something much lower. But here's the kicker. If we see that anticipated growth again, we could be looking at a staggering $4 trillion more in revenue than currently forecasted. That's significant. Now, let's dive into the heart of this matter, the welfare reforms. One of the biggest points of contention is the proposed work requirements for welfare recipients. The idea is simple. If you want to receive benefits, you should also be contributing to society through work. But why is this such a controversial notion? Well, it seems that for some, the thought of requiring work in exchange for support feels almost draconian. But let's use a little common sense here. Many of us understand that there are people who may take advantage of the system, those who don't genuinely need assistance but choose to game the system instead. Here's a quote from an economist I found particularly enlightening. If you work, you'll pay less taxes. It seems straightforward enough, right? So, yet somehow in today's climate, advocating for work in exchange for benefits has become synonymous with being heartless. Let me share an anecdote with you. I came across a video recently, an individual unboxing their food stamp delivery and expressing their disdain for criticism about how they spend those benefits. It was eye-opening to see just how entrenched some people feel in this culture of dependency. But here's my perspective. Supporting those in genuine need is essential, but we must also ensure that we're not enabling a cycle of dependency. So how do we strike that balance? Here's an interesting fact for you. Welfare reform during the 1990s under President Bill Clinton led to a significant drop in poverty rates and welfare dependency. Why? Because it encouraged work. It provided people with the motivation to better their circumstances instead of relying solely on government assistance. Now, I'm not saying all reforms will yield the same results, but history has shown us that empowering individuals through work can lead to better outcomes for everyone involved. So, what are the key takeaways from this discussion? First off, while projections about economic growth can vary widely, there is potential for significant revenue generation if we see robust growth. Secondly, reforming welfare to include work requirements can help reduce dependency and encourage personal responsibility. It's crucial we engage in these conversations with open minds and consider not just the numbers, but the real lives they impact. As we wrap up this episode of Shawn Thinking Out Loud, I encourage you to think critically about the issues we discussed. How can we create a system that supports those truly in need while promoting growth and independence? If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave a comment. And don't forget to tune in every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for The Federalists, where we explore the motivations behind the U.S. Constitution and other pivotal topics. Until next time, keep thinking out loud. Thanks for joining me today.